What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? This is Ron Tucker at Ron's Talking. Welcome to my show. I just want to invite and welcome anybody who's new to the show. I appreciate you checking me out. Uh, I'm back again. I've been away for a few days taking care of my wife, but I think she's turned a corner with the situation she was in a few weeks ago. So I'm very thankful to the good Lord for that. Um, Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the share and the like button, all those different buttons, because all they do is help out the algorithm, trying to help me grow a little bit. I don't get paid for doing this. I just do it from the bottom of my heart because I believe in all this and I believe in fighting for our democracy. So this is my small part in throwing in some help and maybe some good information to you folks, and maybe once in a while make you laugh a little bit. But the main thing is telling the truth about what's happening with this country, and everybody pretty much knows it. So I'm just another messenger in the group. Anyway, let's get down with it. Now, did you know when it comes to reparations, it seems like black people, we're always getting the short end of the stick. That's been historical, but still needs to be addressed and talked about. So hopefully one of these days they'll realize that my ancestors worked for a long time and actually didn't get paid for the work they've done. And I think it would be fitting that we receive reparations when so many other groups and entities and whatnot have received reparations. If you don't believe me, well, let's look at this. Congress and the Reagan administration paid $20,000 to Japanese Americans who were forced into internment camps during World War II. A lot of people know that, I believe, but if you don't, now you know. So my question is, where's my loot? Lincoln, I mean, he did some things for us, but he didn't do us any favors in this regard by paying slave owners up to $300 per every slave they freed. The payments were meant to end slavery in D.C. and grant freedom to 2,889 people. I guess times 300. That was a lot of money back in those days. And then the former slaves, of course, got nothing for their previous work, nor any help in making their transition when they were freed. All they got was a government junk bond. So, again, my question is, where's my paper? The German government even paid the Holocaust, paid them more than $90 billion over the last 80 years. Where's my cash? Just saying. What's the problem with blacks getting paid for the work we've already done? When it comes to us, it's always got to be an issue. Now, talking about this D.C. takeover, it's amazing to me and astounding, really, how a city like Washington, D.C., where the crime rate was going down in every statistical category significantly, they end up getting invaded by the National Guard via Trump's orders. Now, being a rational thinking person, I would have thought that anytime a city is improving their crime rates and they're going down, they normally, I would have thought, would have got some praise or some kind of award or some kind of recognition. But nope, not in D.C. And check out the cost of having these troops in D.C. It's costing $424,000 per day. But you transpose that to cost of operating public housing for D.C. entire homeless population is about $169.26 per day. Where's Doge when you need him? If that's not wage fraud and abuse, I don't know what it is. I guess neither That's the Trump administration. So it's not about what this country can or can't afford. It's about where the priorities lie. Now, here's another kick in the head. Now, ponder this for a minute. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry felt it was his sworn duty to send troops to help out the beleaguered D.C. police. Now, I'm trying to understand, where was all this goodwill and sense of urgency to dispatch the National Guard when white people invaded and stormed the D.C. Capitol during January 6th? And the President of the United States was sitting in the Oval Office watching the whole show, eating Mickey D's, I guess. But I forgot. My bad. Black population in D.C. is pretty heavy. There's a black mayor there too. And the crime rate was decreasing. So what do? The most logical thing that a MAGA person would do, just like Trump, you send in the militia to, decrease the crime. That's what you do, right? When you're Republican and you're MAGA. Now, this Louisiana governor, he had the nerve to send 135 of his National Guard. And it's during the hurricane season right now in Louisiana. My question is, if you're going to send, you must have a lot of National Guard troops, first of all. Because if you send 135 of your troops to D.C. to fight crime, and your state ranks at the bottom in crime, you're number 50. You're number 50 in the economy, 46 in education, and you're 46 in fiscal stability. But it's a red state. They saw fit that, D.C. needs the attention, not us, because we're doing just fine. Now, South Carolina, for example, being a red state with a lot of counties with higher crime rates than D.C., I haven't seen no need or push to send troops there. Black population, black mayor. Okay. And old Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves, he's running around bragging about sending National Guard troops from his state to fight crime. I'm thinking, where? In Mississippi? Oh, no. He wants to send them to Trump's latest Epstein diversionary city, D.C. as well. Yeah, I forgot the fact that his raggedy-ass state has the highest murder rate in the country and has almost doubled from 12.8 per 100,000 residents to 23.7% per 100,000 residents since he took over in 2020. Good old Tater Reeves, another incompetent white male, underperforming, underachieving, and underwhelming. He truly, to me, is a DEI hire. And see, DEI in Reeves' case and Trump stands for defining exceptional ignorance. And speaking of sheer incompetence, it is very, very difficult to point out someone that Trump has outworked, but J.D. Vance wins what I call the Sloth Award. And this clown has been on 8 vacations, folks, in 7 months. I didn't have any idea J.D. Vance was working that hard, but I guess I was wrong. 8 vacations in 7 months? He's doing a slam bang job, I guess. Kamala Harris was vice president. She got ridiculed by the right just for waking up in the morning. But anyway, let me move on to Tina Peters. Y'all remember her? She's that lady used to be, I guess, a county recorder or clerk, whatever, in Mesa, Colorado, who conspired to allow these nincompoops and knuckleheads to break in some of those voting machines and got her ass busted because she was collaborating with another nitwit, Mike Lindell, the Pillow Man. These two individuals, respectively, lost their, well, she lost her freedom because she got 9 years for being a flunky for Trump. My Pillow Man lost his whole business because he wanted to kick it with Trump. So, now in the state of Colorado, they're catching heat from old Orange Face because he's mad that they're not going to release her anytime soon. So he wants to exert his so-called authority and threatening Colorado with some serious issues and some drastic measures that they're going to receive, some kind of punishment if they don't let her go. Problem is, for Donnie Two Shoes, it's a state crime, state charges, so he's got to sit this one out. But I'm sure him and his henchmen, they're going to try to come up with something. So we'll stay tuned for that one. I see that the FBI decided to raid John Bolton's home because he pissed Trump off, as most people do all the time. He was a Trump supporter and his former national security advisor. Now he's the latest one to FAFO. So good luck, John, because they after you and they're gonna try to pin some stuff on you that you either did or didn't do. It don't matter. Trump's got his ire up, and now you's public enemy number one according to Trump. For now, because there's always somebody gonna replace you tomorrow. Now, Trump, my boy, is so corrupt. Now, he's a trip. He bought $100 million in U.S. savings bonds. And, have you noticed how for a long time the Trump's been screaming at the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, to lower those interest rates? Well, I found out through one of the content creators, Texas Paul, on his show. I always give shout outs to people that have been passing on some good info. So I'm going to give Texas Paul the credit for that. But the thing of it is, Trump bought all those millions of dollars in U.S. savings bonds, and if those rates are lowered, he's going to make a mint. So that's why he's threatening to fire Powell, which he can't, and anybody else in the Federal Reserve that he can, which he can't. He just pissed. But that's Trump, always looking for an angle or scheme to make some money. But you got his supporters who will back him to the hill. If they broke, they don't give a damn because they want to make sure that Donnie stays rich. Now, Donnie Dumbass, as I call him sometimes, and other things, he feel like he should get his Nobel Peace Prize, which a Nobel Peace Prize doesn't even exist. But anyway, if he can solve the conflict between what he calls Azerbaijan and Albania. Well, see, the problem is Azerbaijan doesn't exist. And Albania is not involved in any conflict anyway right now at the moment. So, sucks for Donnie. But see, this imbecile in the White House is lying and delusional because he wanted to say Azerbaijan and Armenia, but he don't know the difference from either one of them. So, what can you say for him? Except, he's a crook. Well, I guess that says it all. And really, Trump, he ain't done jack shit because he probably feel like Archie Bunker right now, though, now that his grandkids are about to become, they about ready to have a black steppappy in Tiger Woods, who's gotten together with Don Jr.'s leftover scraps, and pretty soon they're going to be married. That's probably why Trump won that $200 million to build that ballroom at the White House. Hell, he'll probably have Tiger deported pretty soon anyway. But can you believe it? Trump's going to have a black person in his family. Who would have thunk it? Now, Trump claims the days of stupidity are over in the USA. But I beg to differ with Trump. They'll never be over because he's still in office. See, Trump doesn't think he is stupid because he knows he has supporters out there that are stupid too, or are just as corrupt as he is in the brain. And so he doesn't care what he says to anybody at any time because, they don't care. That's MAGA. Now, this insane fool is still obsessed with windmills and solar energy, right? He was saying the other day, any state that has built and relied on windmills and solar for power is seeing record-breaking increases in electricity and energy costs. It's the scam of the century. We will not approve wind or farmer destroying solar. That last little bit of sentence didn't even make sense. But anyway, you know the deal. He's a crook. He's just a crook. But he'll tell you different. I'm not a crook. You see? What can we say? And here's a display of professional ass crack licking that is major league level. Now, Fox's Hannity and Trump's ignorant buffoon of an ambassador or envoy, whatever you want to call him, to Russia, Steve Witkoff. Now, they both performed a double team on praising dear leader by stating that Trump's getting the EU to buy our oil by putting tariffs on India, by arming Ukraine, and upping the ante on NATO is the reason that Putin finally came to the table. Or Hannity asked him, did he really want peace? Now I'm thinking Hannity is a clownish fixture of Fox foolishness. What the hell did he mean by asking this stupid question? Like Putin was holding out peace talks, let alone a ceasefire, until Trump's brilliance at deal making and negotiating skills just wore Putin down, where he had no choice but to submit to the pomp and circumstance that Trump eagerly insisted on offering him in Alaska. Hannity, my question to you is, my man, what did Trump really get out of it from Putin? I'll tell you what he got. A fucking pat on the head, a belch, and a fart after that damn good meal that y'all served him and his entourage. And at the same time, Russia was bombing Ukraine anyway while he was here at that sham-ass summit. And what did our great envoy, real estate investor Witkoff, have to add to his Hannity interview? Now, this is going to probably floor you. It's really sickening, but it's incredibly pathetic. Hannity, those are all the reasons Sean, the president, and you and me have discussed it. He has this uncanny ability to lie, to bend people over like Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, to his sensible way of thinking. And it gets better. He goes on and says, and he does it each and every time. I've never seen anything quite like it, and neither have we. And I've been around some master deal makers. Well, you struck out on this one, Stevie. He is a legend as far as I'm concerned. Well, you know what? I just changed my prediction on who will be the next person to lead Trump's administration. So I pegged some other higher profile individuals like Hegseth, Bondi, Patel, Gabbard, Bongino, Bissett. But after Witkoff's frothing and foaming of the mouth with this absurd, delusional gushing of praise. He jumped to the top of the leaderboard on the ass-kicking chart because of the Ukraine-Russia failure. You know, what this man is really doing, he knows his job is on the line, so he's trying to save it, that's all. Now, I want to jump to something a little bit different, but still within the spirit of everything national. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, why can't they leave that man alone? They will not let go. They refuse to let go because they fucked up from the very beginning when they apprehended him and charged him with everything and admitted they were wrong. But because he's a symbol of their incompetence, they can't leave him alone. They released him finally, which he should have done 6-7 months ago. Now they're talking about, well, he got the Monday to report and turn himself in so they can fuck with him some more. Now they want to send him to Uganda. That man's going to make so much damn money when all this shit is said and done. Now he's going to sue their draws off. They just don't learn. Pam Bondi is ignorant. I mean, ignorant. And yep, that too. I mean, take the L. Take the L and move on. But no, he's a symbol. And it just grates on their nerves to know that they fucked up. And they can't stand it. Anyway. Trump's DOJ decided to release some old bullshit related to the Epstein case, sort of. Ghislaine Maxwell, she was browbeat by Todd Blanche, and I guess he got her to just talk about anything other than Trump, and it was basically a crock of shit. She basically told Congress she never saw Trump. Based on her testimony, Trump ain't done nothing wrong. She never seen him do nothing untoward. He never did anything. He was a perfect gentleman and blah, blah, blah. In other words, case closed. Yeah, Elaine, you'll be released soon by the Fuhrer. Don't worry about it. And who's on the on-deck circle? Diddy. But she's such a liar. And to further that, Maxwell, in her interview with Trump's stooge, Todd Blanche, his former attorney, now he's in a higher position now in the government. I think he's an assistant attorney general or something like that. Anyway, y'all know that, he interviewed her a few weeks ago. And in that interview, she stated on line 19, and it went to line 24, that she emphatically did not introduce Prince Andrew to Jeffrey Epstein. She said, it's a flat untruth. I'll start with that. But later in the interview, when Blanche told her that Prince Andrew stated that Maxwell did in fact introduce him to Epstein, she immediately said, I think that's true. So somebody there in the interview with Blanche, her name was Leah Safane, she then asked Maxwell, is true that Andrew said that? Maxwell said, yeah, no, I'm sure it's true because I'm English and blah, 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 blah. What's true, Elaine, is you're a predator, a liar, and you belong back in prison. But I'm sure old clubfoot, sequoia ankle Trump, he'll set you free, then have you killed. That's the way the junior mafia does it in Washington, D.C. Ask Jeffrey. Well, we can't ask him nothing. Anyway, folks, right now, these people in Trump's administration, and including him, are just totally pathetic. Trump's trying to get away from this Epstein stench and that doo-doo on his shoe. Can't get rid of it. Can't get away. It's going to dog him and dog him and dog him. And, last but not least, I got to touch on the fact that Donald Trump is so just, he's pathetic. He's trying to remove all vestiges of African American history from our country. From the Smithsonian Institute, he got his shit removed, indicating he was arrested. He's a damn 34 count convicted felon. And he's trying to remove everything black related from the Smithsonian and other places around the country. My only question is black people, the black MAGA and black conservatives, what makes y'all think that man really is all about y'all and is concerned about y'all in your history? He's already shown y'all and told y'all he gives a damn about y'all. So if these things that are happening, trying to erase our history, doesn't move y'all, and y'all don't really give a damn, well, okay. I got my answer from black MAGA and black conservatives. Don't care about our history at all, and y'all think Trump's all right with trying to erase everything involving us as a, historical contributor to this society, then, okay, y'all carry on. Okay, but when you go to bed at night and you wake up the next day and look around and try to understand or figure out why these white folks are still making y'all fight for your liberty, just think about it for a minute. See, a lot of y'all think that y'all down with them, but they ain't down with you. This here, that texture, it always means something to those who can't stand you. Why are we still fighting for freedom and rights? We all know what it is, folks. It's very simple. It's all about your skin color. It's all about racism. And the historical ghosts of the past are still haunting a lot of these today's white population. They still feel like things are changing. They know that. And a lot of them ain't liking it. Especially white males who've been taught, I guess, a long time ago that they're superior. Let me tell you something about this superiority thing, folks. I'm going to break it down to the barest elements, just so y'all understand where I'm coming from. I understand why white people talk this superiority thing, and I'm only talking about the ones who do. Okay, let me get it straight. But early in the morning, your breath stank like everybody else's. When you take a dump, your shit stinks just like everybody else's. Y'all end up in ICUs, emergency rooms, you catch diseases, you get old, just like all of us. Okay? You got uglies, you got fats, you got skinnies, you got ones that are just horrible looking. And can't none of you fly. Can't none of you jump over and leap over tall buildings in a single bound. You can put a cape on, but a bullet would tear your ass up just like anybody else. And when your armpits stank, they funky just like anybody else's. Okay? You get the same and catch the same ailments that everybody else catches. Your asses are just like anybody else. So I don't know where you think you're superior at because you look different than somebody. So what? Everybody looks different from somebody. But they done filled your head with so much BS about superiority that you believe that shit. It's a recipe for disaster. And as long as y'all keep thinking that you're superior and your stuff don't smell, you're going to always be delusional and seeing illusions and visions of grandeur. You better wake up to the fact that you ain't nobody, you ain't no better than nobody else, excuse me. And that's the way I feel about life. I ain't no better than you. You ain't no better than me. But together, we can strive to be better, all of us. But one thing we got to get out of our damn heads is any kind of superiority complex, because Trump, he's busy hoarding up all this loot, all this money. And then somebody made a comment to me on my page saying that I'm not a billionaire. Okay? When I die and when Trump checks out, we're going to have the same amount of money in our account. Zero. I'm out.